Alright guys, today we are going to see the unboxing review of FMS F3A Olymbus, which they just launched January mid 2014. So I just opened the box, and this is a 60-inch fuselage and 55-inch in the length, and you would see the complete picture of the plane, and the first look is very impressive. Alright, so first thing that you could see is the wing, and underneath the wing you have the fuselage. And a couple of things to notice in the wing is this plane comes with metal gear servos. There are 4 servos, 2 to the wings, and you have 1 for the rudder and 1 for the elevator. It's a 4-channel plane, and I believe it's a 17-gram servo. And the other thing is, I don't think I have to glue the wings, which is a good thing. And I need to put a couple of screws for each of the wings, and it should go with the fuselage. Another interesting thing here is the pre-painted one, and it's well painted, and the color is really good, and it's going to help me for the orientation. And I'm not going to decal anything. That's one of the biggest relief. I'm not going to spend 1 hour in decaling the plane, so that's a good thing. Everything looks good from the wing perspective. So I'm going to leave the wing here. I have the other wing, which is the similar one. And one more thing to point out here is the aileron is really big. And I'm sure the people who wants to really go for the 3D practice, this is going to be a good plane. And but however, there are no hinges. So if you want to put extra hinge, if you need to put new hinges, you need to do that. Otherwise, I think still it's manageable. So I'm going to leave the wing here. Then what is next is the fuselage. Awesome, that looks really awesome. It's well painted, and I don't see any damage to the plane. And again, I need not to decal anything here. So this is the out of box, okay? And to notice here, you can see the servo, the one side, the servo, the other side. So again, metal gear servos, that goes for the rudder and elevator. And one difference is, like, I could see the tail wheel attached to the fuselage. So let's see what is inside underneath the canopy. The first looks good in terms of the pilot. He is not shaking, which means he is very strong. He is very strong inside. So we're going to leave it there, and it's a beautiful compartment. I have enough space to accommodate 5-cell battery as well as 6-cell. So this flight we can fly this plane with 2 different type of batteries. The one is 5-cell if you want to practice more aerobatics. If you want to go for a speed like a racer, and for long duration, I would recommend to go for 6s, which is the factory recommended setup. So I'm going to fly this plane with 6s, 3300 milliamps battery, and I do see the ESC, of course, underneath here. It's a 70 amps ESC. I think it should be a good ESC. I believe so. Maybe once I put together the plane, I should understand the ESC, how many milliamps the power it kind of pulls, the motor pulls. So the motor is the first look of the motor is good, and it's a little bigger, and it's a 550 kV motor. I'm sure it should be able to generate the thrust with a 15/8 prop, maybe around 3 kg. I believe so. Let's see. And one thing I'm going to change is that it comes with the DIN connector. I'm not a fan of the DIN connector for whatever the reason. I'm going to move to XT160 so that I can avoid any reheat from the battery. So overall, it looks impressive. So I'm going to put the canopy back. And a couple of more things to highlight here is, I'm sure that you should understand. You would understand that the wings goes inside here. So, which means I have spots for 4 screws for each of the wing, 2 screws, so that we are good here. And I could see 4 spots for those 4 screws again for the landing gear. So everything looks good. I'm going to leave it here. Let me put this here, this way. The other thing, what I could notice here is the elevator. Oh, there's a difference actually. I never had any rod going between the elevators, so it looks like you have some spot to have the rod inserted for extra reinforcement. So the elevator looks good. Again, there are no hinges in the elevator. If you want to add, you can do, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. The elevator comes with a couple of screws. So each elevator has one screw that get attached to the fuselage. So there's nothing to say here, but it looks good. And the other one is something different for the F3A. You have an extra wing. Okay, but you're not going to do anything with this wing other than it is going to improve the flying characteristics, which means it does not have any aileron. This is not a biplane, okay? But still it's going to be on top of the main wing, and it comes with the 2 screws that can get easily attached to the fuselage. So leaving this aside, I have the rudder. Oh wow, rudder comes with the hinges. That's great. So I'm really confident it's not going to come out. So it looks good. I'm going to leave the rudder here. Once again, this plane recommended setup is for the motor 550 kV. It's a 15 by 8 prop. I'm sure it's going to generate 3 kg thrust. Let's give it a shot and see how that works. And one last thing is the landing gear. Ooh, that's really scale, and I think it can take the shocks if you land it high, little high. And I'm sure that you can fly this plane, take out the plane in the grass. It's really scale, and the wheels looks good. So I have nothing to say here. It's really impressive. Otherwise, I have some hardwares, regular hardwares. Then the spinner is plastic, so I'm not sure how it is going to be really good. But hopefully it should have been already balanced. So let's see how that works. Otherwise, I have nothing inside the box. Okay, so let me put together this plane. I have some control rods. Did I say this? I have the rods here that goes inside the wing and elevator. So I need to put this together to see how the plane is going to perform. Probably I'll do this during the weekend. And thank you so much for watching. This is Lex from Phoenix.